Animals living in captivity, they need these 5 freedoms for a sense of well-being. Freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury, and disease, freedom from abnormal behavior, and freedom from fear and distress, said by Director of Zoo Check Canada, Rob Laidlaw.
Are these 5 freedoms currently being met at Marineland?
Do you remember that cute sea lion from the Marineland commercials? His name is Baker. He had to be taken out of the water to be treated for his damaged eyes.
According to the Toronto Star article published on August 15th, Baker and another sea lion were left in a dry pen for weeks. With only a small bucket of water to dunk their heads in, his eyes became so sensitive that once they put him back in the water, he barked and his lens flew out of his eye.
Many incidents have been reported between fall 2011 and spring 2012 that would suggest that Baker isn't the only animal living in distress at Marineland.
There are many problems that the public doesn't see, which, as reported by the Star, would include animals that become sick, suffer fur loss and skin damage due to recurring water problems and understaffing.
Even with all the media attention focused on Marineland, the many in the public still continue to support the park through purchase of tickets.
Dolphins are acoustic creatures, which means they pick up a lot of information from sound. Now imagine a dolphin surrounded by screaming people. They become very stressed out because they are sensitive to sound, and it's stress that kills them.
We found this information from the Academy Award-winning documentary The Cove. This documentary is about the dreadful dolphin slaughter in Taiji, Japan, featuring dolphin activist Rick O'Barry.
How does this relate to Marineland? Dolphins are captured and sold for $150,000 each. Taiji, Japan supplies their dolphins to Marineland. 23,000 dolphins that aren't chosen are slaughtered.
You have to see dolphins in the wild to see why captivity doesn't work, said by Rick O'Barry. Can you imagine dolphins swimming freely in the ocean 40 miles a day, now confined to swimming in circles surrounded by concrete and deprived of communicating naturally? A dolphin's smile is nature's greatest deception. It creates the illusion that they are always happy.
In theory, animals should live longer in captivity from all the attention they receive, being well fed and protected from predators.
People may think that captivity is safer for these animals because of the water pollution in the wild. But is it really?
According to a Star article, water quality logs maintained by former supervisors noted ongoing water quality issues in the aquatic park. There have been many problems with ozone leaks in the water. Trainers had to wear gas masks and tags on their shirts that would indicate if levels were too high. If this isn't acceptable for humans, how can it be acceptable for the animals?
We had the opportunity to contact Phil Demers, former 12-year senior trainer at Marineland. Unfortunately, on February 12th, he was served with a lawsuit of his own, therefore unable to participate in this film.
Sadly, the problems at Marineland don't only exist in the water. The Star reported issues with the park's land animals as well.
It noted that the bears are crammed into one concrete enclosure where visitors can purchase and feed them corn pop cereal and sugar cones.
Deer live in a concrete and gravel enclosure with no grass and little shade. Tourists can feed them pellets and sugar cones for $2.50 each.
Jim Hammond is a former land animal supervisor at Marineland. He was there from June 5, 2000 until July 11, 2011.
What first interested you in joining Marineland?
First of all, I met a person that worked there with the whales and said it was a great place to work. And he knew my background, so I applied because I love working with animals.
You worked at Marineland for 11 years, and at some point you must have started to notice problems with the conditions for the animals. What kept you there for so many years, and what made you finally speak out about the problems at Marineland?
Almost the first year I saw there's problems. But I was the type of person with my background, I thought that I could make a difference. And I didn't want to be out on the front lines protesting. I wanted to be behind the scenes trying to do something. And I stuck it out, and through the 11 years I did see quite a bit. And at one point I looked at my diploma up on the wall and I said I was making a mockery of my diploma, and that same day I quit. I believe if you take an animal out of the wild You gotta be prepared to mimic their conditions they have in the wild in the display. If you're not prepared to do that, you should not have the right to have those animals on display.
There are no high hopes for the Ontario Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. They've said they can't inspect animals under veterinary care. This is the OSPCA.
If an animal is under the care of a licensed vet, it is therefore removed of the Society's investigation.
With the local SPCA, John Holler either supplied the land or built the building, and there's a plaque and anybody can go and see it, just you walk through the front doors, thanking John for all his donations. When a person goes and makes a complaint to the OSPCA, the local Humane Society, how do you think they can come and do their job at Marineland after John has done so much for them? The problem is with the OSPCA, for the marine mammals, I can state for a fact there are no laws, and they cannot enforce anything that there's no laws there for.
There is no legislation in Canada against marine mammals living in captivity. This means I could have a beluga in my swimming pool right now, and it would be legal.
There are no rules governing zoos and aquariums in Canada. This means anyone can set one up. As long as the owners don't run afoul of Ontario's very vague animal cruelty laws, they can do as they please.
Since August 15, 2012, the Toronto Star has put out a series of articles about the ongoing investigation at Marineland. We tried to find out what our community thought on the investigation. One question on the survey was, how was your experience at Marineland?
One perspective read, negative. I do not enjoy seeing animals in captivity. Although there are arguments that suggest zoos and other facilities move animal research in a forward direction, I do not believe that Marineland contributes to this in a significant way.
If you could tell the public one thing about this situation, what would it be?
I'd say to open your eyes, not just believe what you see, but look behind the scenes and not be scared to ask questions. The worst question is the question that's not asked.
From the knowledge we gained through the Star investigation, our interview with Jim, and making this film, in our opinion, we think the following has to occur.
Stronger legislation needs to be introduced and enforced by the Ontario government.
And the OSPCA, or another investigative body, needs to be given the resources needed to protect these animals and better their living conditions.
It's not until the public stops supporting Marineland,
Or places like Marineland,
That any real changes will take place.
Well, I thank you very much for taking up the cause, and every bit helps, that's for sure. And we're all talking for the ones that can't talk for themselves, and that's the animals.
These poor animals need our